WrestleBeards, we got all your wrestling gear. WrestleBeards, woo! Hairy man with dirty beards. WrestleBeards, worldwide.
Did you hear that, Luke? It's time for another predictions video. And it's time for you to lose in the very first AEW predictions video. Are you ready, Luke?
Bring on.
Well, here we are.
Yeah,
I'm
ready
Shrek.
to go.
This is Luke. We're from WrestleBeards Worldwide. And yeah, we've been doing WWE predictions for some time, but this is our first AEW one. It's All Out this weekend, their 2022 edition. It's a hell of a card. They've got 10 matches announced. No belt's going to be on the line for this because we don't even know who will be the belt holder at said time. But we're just going to give it a go. We're going to play it by ear, and shall we get into it?
Yeah, later than never to the party.
Fantastic. Okay, well, first match I have down on here is Tomohiro Ishii, I believe from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's taking on Eddie Kingston. I don't know where this match has come from, but I do value both of these competitors. Who do you think's got this, Luke, and how do you think it's going to win?
Yeah, you're right. Like this seems to come from nowhere, but I guess this relationship between New Japan Wrestling and AEW and Tony Khan, what he's doing, I can't see this sort of. He's not a. He's not a big, it's not like a Carter coming over. So I think Eddie Kingston's going to get the win. He's a big fan favorite. I think this might be like the opening match, or maybe a match that sort of gets the crowd up again after a big one. Yeah, I can see an Eddie Kingston win here by pinfall.
Okay, great shout. Well, don't agree with you, Luke, unfortunately. Ishii, I believe he's pretty hot at the moment. Don't know too much about him, but I think Eddie Kingston's actually not, in good standing with some of the AEW upper echelon at the moment. He's had a few online rants and shoots. I'm quite surprised he's actually got a match because I think he even had a recent suspension. But I feel like this might be a punishment almost. And I think Ishii's quite hard hitting, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel that Ishii is going to take this one down. And I'm going to go via pin because I don't even know if he's got a submission move. So there we go. First one out the gates. All right, the second match here is the finals of the AEW World Trios titles, the three-man tag titles, I guess you would know them as. At this point in time, we don't know who is in the final. So we're just going to, go through the four teams and then we can decide who's going to win. So on one side with their... I guess you would call it their semi-final match happening this week on, I believe, is it on, what do you call it? Is it Rampage?
Rampage. Rampage,
yeah. Rampage or the other one. Can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head.
The dark.
Yeah, one of those anyway. It's United Empire who are represented by, I think they're called Aussie Open or something like that. And they are from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And they are taking on the Elite, which is the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And so that's the first side of the card. And then the other side, I'm not even sure when this match is taking place, but it's the Dark Order, three of the members of the Dark Order, including my boy, John Silver. And they're taking on the Best Friends, which is Orange Cassidy and Chucky and Trent. So teams, but obviously only one will win. Who do you think's got it, Luke?
Well, I think it's going to come down to the Elite versus the Best Friends. And I think you can't have Kenny Omega return and have him lose. So Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, the Elite are going to be the first trio tag champions of AEW.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I think it would be weird to have Kenny lose so quickly in a big match. I think unless there was some real reason for it, like maybe Adam Cole returning and doing something to stop them having that happen. But yeah, I do believe that will be the final, and I do believe that the Elite will take the titles and be the first holders of that. So pretty cool. Yep. Okay. Next match I have here.
Oh, well, we didn't say by pinfall, I'm going to say.
Ah, yeah, of course, by a pinfall.
But that extra point, it could be all that's in there.
Crucial. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. You've learned the hard way of that one in the past. And the last man standing matches. Okay, well, third match I have written down here. It's another 3-on-3 match, but nothing to do with trios titles. We have Wardlow and FTR taking on Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns, which are I believe, TNA tag team. I don't know too much about them, but I hear they are pretty cool. Who do you think has got this one?
Well, I'm going for Wardlow and FTR. What FTR are doing is some of the best work of their career. Likewise with Wardlow, they put the title on him, and yeah, he's just a wrecking ball at the moment. He's just steamrolling everyone. I really like Jay Lethal, and I've always been a big fan of Jay Lethal. And just like a side note, reading about what he did with Ric Flair for Ric Flair's last match and his last stand, I thought it was brilliant. So I would, like, nostalgically, I'd love to see Jay Lethal actually get a big win on a big pay-per-view. But unfortunately, I think it's probably going to be Jay Lethal that takes the pin from Wardlow for a Wardlow FTR win.
Okay, I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah, I think the three of Wardlow and FTR, they're on fire. I think Harwood is one of the best wrestlers in the division.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna smoke the other team. I did see originally Lethal was actually going to be teaming up with Sanjay Dutt and Satnam Singh, the big fella.
Yeah.
They changed it to the Motor City Machine Guns. I guess they wanted it to seem a little bit more competitive. That Satnam Singh's kind of like a young Great Khali, so he's not.
Yeah.
But okay, pretty cool. So we both agree on that one, and both by pinfall. Fantastic. Okay, the next match I have is for the interim AEW Women's Title. Thunder Rosa has had to step aside for a bit. Apparently a kayfabe injury, but we will know more about that when we do. But we have 4 people stepping up to have the interim belt, which I do like that they do that in AEW. It actually seems like, you know, a bit more real, like sort of like MMA-esque, like they would do in the UFC and so forth. So we have the original person who was meant to be taking on Thunder Rosa, Toni Storm, and she's taking on Britt Baker, former champ, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. So who do you think is going to win this fatal 4-way for the interim belt, Luke?
Well, personally, I think it should be Jamie Hayter, just given the fact that she's been in the company from the beginning. She's not really had the opportunity to do much. Obviously, Britt Baker had the title for so long.
Yeah. Finally,
Thunder Rosa won it off her. I also think it's too soon for them to put another program together between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. Stick with Toni Storm. Toni Storm for the win by pinfall.
So Toni Storm by pinfall. Pretty good shout there, Luke. I also agree with you. It was the original match. And I think actually when Storm was going to take on Thunder Rosa, Thunderstorm, I think that Storm was going to win that one too. So why not? Let's just see that match like play out down the line again when they have to unite the belts for sure. So Storm,
and she's one of yours again, isn't she? She's a Kiwi. Toni Storm.
I believe she was born in New Zealand, but she identifies as an Aussie.
Okay.
One of those ones. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Screw her then.
She's a Russell Crowe. She's a Russell Crowe. Okay, next up, well, we have a match that has only been announced, but we don't even know who's going to be involved. It's the Casino Ladder match. Normally, I think they've had a couple of these in the past. I believe the last one had Hangman Page end up winning, and the previous one before that, gee, I can't even remember. Was it Kenny Omega or something like that? Who won it? Something along that.
Yeah, well, it always leads to it's kind of their Money in the Bank, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically. It leads to a title opportunity down the line against the world champ.
Okay, so who do you have for a potential winner for this match?
It could be anyone. So I'm going to go big balls, and I'm going to say me. I'm going to win it.
Wow.
Spoiler alert. No, I'm going to go for. I was going to go for Darby Allin originally because I think he needs that step up. But then Jon Moxley squashed CM Punk last week on a TV show.
Yeah.
I think CM Punk wins the Casino Battle Royale to go up against Jon Moxley, not coming off CM Punk's injury, because that's what he's going to play into for a big challenge where I think CM Punk beats him.
That's
so
huge.
CM Punk to win the Casino Battle Royale.
Okay, interesting. That would be nice, I guess. It was pretty shocking when CM Punk did lose in that way. I believe there's more at play behind the scenes with that one, but that's a story for another podcast. Okay, well, it's funny you should mention, who did you say was your initial pick before you
Darby
changed?
Allin.
I'm going to bring this up. Darby Allin.
Allin.
Oh, well. I'm not
Darby
the
Allin's
fella.
Darby Allin's his uncle.
I had that down. I do think he needs to sort of get back into some kind of contention. He's a very awesome talent with a really cool character. He's got the boy Sting with him. I think he's going to take this down. So there we go. You could have had the same pick as me, Luke, but you've gone for your boy CM.
That's no fun, is it? No fun having the same.
Like we say, this is only for fun when we've got no title on the line. Of course, I don't want to defend twice in one weekend.
Why should you? Why should you?
Exactly. Okay. Well, this is the next match, the sixth match I've got written down, which is the match I'm actually quite looking forward to. It's a bit of a rematch of sorts. It's Bryan Danielson against Chris Jericho, two of our favorites, Luke. Who do you think is going to take this one down?
Well, this is the match I'm looking forward to the most, followed by one we've not spoken about. But yeah, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most by a long shot, I think. It's a tough one, but I think it comes down to who can afford to lose more, and I think Jericho can afford to lose more than Danielson can. So I'm going for a Bryan Danielson pinfall victory over Chris Jericho. Okay. Oh, actually, no, I'm going to change. Ooh. I'm going for a Bryan Danielson submission victory over Chris Jericho.
Okay, huge. Well, I mean, the two guys fronting, well, not really fronting in Danielson's perspective, but the two guys from big factions. We've got the Jericho Appreciation Society. We've got the Blackpool Combat Club. So I'm sure they're going to have, members have a part to play in this melee, or what do you want to say? But I do believe that Danielson will take this one down. And I was hoping you'd say pinfall, because I had via submission as well. I was like, wow, surprise.
I think if he wins by submission, I think that's better for Jericho.
Yeah, so we're both clear. Danielson via submission. Cool. Well, the seventh match I have written down here is for the AEW tag team titles. And we have Keith Lee and Swerve Scott. I don't know what his name is these days. Something like that. Swerve in Our Glory, they're known by. Can't remember what it goes by actually in AEW, but you know who I'm talking about. And they're taking on the Acclaimed, which I think hot property at the moment. They come to the ring with pretty cool promos and raps, and they're pretty fire. So who do you think is going to win this?
Well, going off the back of what you said about the Acclaimed, I think the Acclaimed are going to win. I think they're doing the better stuff at the moment. This tag team of Keith Lee and his name, his AEW name passed me by as well. It's kind of put together. It's a forced tag team. I think the Acclaimed go ahead and they win the belt.
Okay, cool. I can see why you'd say that. I'm actually
pinfall, by the way. Yeah,
sure. I'm going to disagree politely. I think that Swerve in Our Glory will retain, and it comes down to nothing to do with them. I think there's been a recent problem with the Acclaimed, Billy Gunn as well, and the Gun Club, his sons. They kind of had a bit of a action and then a divide. I think that the Gun Club are going to come out and cost the Acclaimed the titles. So something.
Okay, interesting. I haven't thought of it that way. Yeah,
Billy Gunn might even betray them. I don't know. There's been a lot of betrayals lately. We don't want to see the end of Scissor Me Daddy Ass. Scissor Me Daddy Ass. That should never be said on this podcast. Okay, so we've got another one we disagree on. That's pretty cool though. And then we have the eighth match on the card, which has had a lot of build up actually, and it's Jungle Boy, and he's taking on our grizzled veteran Christian Cage. They used to be in a team together with Luchasaurus, and now no longer. Christian Cage has been a bad boy. Who do you think is going to take this one down?
Christian Cage is such a good wrestler, like all round. He is brilliant, and he has been so good in this. Jungle Boy's promos have been superb in this as well, but Christian Cage is just, for somebody like Jungle Boy, who is universally loved. He was loved when he was with Luchasaurus. He's loved as a singles guy. He's universally loved. And Christian Cage is so clever and so smart, and and he's been doing it for years. He's been doing it all his career to just make you dislike him that little bit more. And that's what I mean. Like I care more about this match than I do any of the others, other than Bryan Danielson and Chris Jericho. Okay. Having said that, it wouldn't be right to see Christian Cage get the pinfall over Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy is going to win. Big feel-good moment. Jungle Boy win by pin.
I couldn't agree with that sentiment, Luke. It's probably one of the matches I'm definitely looking forward to the most. Love Jungle Boy. Love Christian Cage even more. And I see that Jungle Boy is going to come away with the victory. It's going to be one of those feel-good moments. He's got over the top of someone who's been bullying him for some time. I think Luchasaurus will come out and they'll embrace, and it'll be a feel-good moment via pinfall for sure. Yep. Okay, and then we've got the 9th match on the card. This card is stacked, by the way. It's another two former teammates who are no longer friends. It's Ricky Starks, and he's having a bit of a grudge match with Powerhouse Hobbs. They both used to be in Team Taz, and no longer are. Who do you think is going to take this one down, and do you even care?
This is one that I'm not big on. I like Team Taz for Taz. Yep. And now that's kind of separated. I guess Starks is gonna win by pinfall, but could be either or. So yeah, I've gone for Starks just because.
I don't want to waste any of the viewers' time listening to what I think on this match, because I really couldn't care less. But I've actually gone for Hobbs just because he's a big fella. Okay. But that's the only reason. And he looks impressive. But yeah, couldn't care less. Okay, and then we have the last submission. Yeah. Thank you. I'll go with pinfall.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then the last match that we have, the 10th match at this time, I'm sure Tony Khan will throw another 15 matches on the card before we get to it next weekend. But it's for the AEW TBS title with long-standing champion Jade Cargill taking on Athena, who used to be known as Ember Moon in the NXT and WWE. Who do you think's going to win this one, Luke?
Yeah, it's like Jade Cargill. She's just been like destroying everybody, isn't she? And like she was the first TBS holder, and has been since. I don't know. I read something about Athena mentioning Jade Cargill before she joined AEW, and kind of building towards this. We don't have many titles on the line, so why not a title change? I'm going Athena.
Nice.
Pinfall victory.
I'd like to see that happen, but unfortunately, I want to be a member of the baddie section when it comes to Christchurch, New Zealand. So I've got to stay in Jade Cargill's good graces. I'm going to back Jade Cargill. I think she's going to take this down by a pinfall, but I do see that Athena's probably going to topple her, but I just can't go against the Queen, and I want to be in that baddie section. But, you understand. Guy's got to do what he's got to do. Okay, well, that's a pretty stacked card, Luke. We're both looking forward to this weekend. We've also got the Clash at the Castle. It's a huge weekend of wrestling, but like we say, this is just for fun, but we're going to see how it plays out. And maybe down the line, this might be for the title. You might get a shot one day.
Never know. Never know my luck.
You never know your luck in a big city. All right, mate. Well, this has been fun, and we've been Luke and Shrek for WrestleBeards Worldwide. We'll see you soon.